completed, and the championship all comes down to this. Welcome to Brands Hatch in Kent, the final stop for this, the BTCC Online Series 2025, brought to you by Sim Racing Community and Authentic Racing eSeries. My name's Tom Farrell, and unfortunately I've not got Waps here this evening. He's unfortunately otherwise engaged, but Peter Cornelius is alongside us, bringing you all the images and also being a race director this evening. As I say, this is Brands Hatch GP to be precise, and it's the final round of this series. We're replicating the BTCC if you haven't been here before, so there is HEMS regulation to be aware of. The hybrid energy management system allocations work like this. Race 1 allocation is based on the championship standings. Race 2 allocation is based on the results of race number 1. Race 3's allocation is based on the championship standings following race 2. Up to a maximum of 15 seconds per lap of boost is available, which varies based on position. Minimum speed to deploy varies based on the track too. This is the point system, so we've got qualifying going on just at the moment, the 20-minute session, and the fastest lap in qualifying receives 1 point. 1 point will also be awarded for fastest lap in each of the races, and also for leading 1 full lap as well. And that's a maximum of 1 point per race. First place gets 20 points, 17, 15, 13, 11, 10, and then it reduces by 1 all the way down to 15th place. The tyre regulations work as so. Each event utilises 2 of the 3 tyre compounds, hard, medium or soft. Each driver must use both compounds available during the 3 races. So if they choose softs in the first 2 races and then hards, they'll have to use the hard in the 3rd race. Using 1 tyre compound for all 3 races does unfortunately result in a disqualification. The top 3 finishers from race 1 must start race 2 on the harder tyre compound. So we're coming into qualifying, which is, as I say, live. We've got about 14 minutes left of the session. I believe Ollie Hutton's currently on pole with a 1:29.4, and he's also leading the way from Raquelme, who's making his return following a week absence. So we've got both BMWs back this evening as well. So Josh Nesbitt is the other BMW runner with the rear-wheel drive, who's currently yet to set a best qualifying time. William Johnson goes to the top of the timing sheet. Unfortunately, we can't see that on the screen, but William Johnson has set a 1:28.4. Raquelme is now in second, with Ollie Hutton in third. There we go. With this being Brands Hatch GP, we do go on to this GP layout here to see some of the cars go side Well, welcome back. Apologies for that small technical issue there. We're just having a little bit of internet issues, but hopefully now all the cars are staying on the circuit and not going sideways or upside down, as we may have seen slightly there. William Johnson just set a purple sector 2 as he's coming through the GP loop, as he's got 2 corners left before setting this lap time. On the soft tyres, runs slightly wide there on the exit, just rejoining the Indy circuit here. And he's got just over a tenth to find, but no, he bails for the pit lane. He's got 9 minutes left of the session, so hopefully he'll be able to get back out. Currently on pole is Riquelme in the BMW. As you might expect, the BMWs have been rather quick all season. Unfortunately, there weren't any BMWs last week at Silverstone. As we see there, Josh Nesbitt, who's currently sitting in 4th, but he is our championship leader coming in to this round. 235 points coming into tonight's round. He's ahead of Riquelme, who's got 202 points. Camera comes around Druid's hairpin, goes down the hill towards Graham Hill Bend. The left, see how red those brakes get. So now coming up to the left-hander, which takes us onto the GP loop. It's a green sector 1 for Josh Nesbitt. So it's a personal best for him, which is not too much slower than the guys ahead. We come through, we should be getting a sector 2 split in a minute. Oh, slightly wide there. Slightly slower sector 2. Whether that was because of the slight fall off at that corner, we get to see. As I'm seeing on the timing screen, Riquelme is set a purple sector 1. So he's going to possibly improve on his qualifying lap time. As we're following this, Josh Nesbitt coming around to set a faster lap time. He's got just over half a second to try and find. Close to the gravel there, a little bit of a wobble on the exit. Nice tight line to keep it nice and short to the line. And that's a purple sector 3 there by the looks of it. But it wasn't a improvement. Oh, it was an improvement on his time. That's a 1:28.7. So he's managed to knock 2 tenths off that lap time. Riquelme here, the other BMW we've got tonight. Purple sector 1. A green sector 2. Slightly wide again. Very close to the grass. But he's almost setting up for another lap time. He must have made a mistake at some point. Because that wasn't an improvement. That was a 1:28.7 compared to his fastest lap, which was a 1:28.3. Bristow here, as we see, coming exiting the GP loop with 1.1 seconds to find. A few improvements. I think he might have done a track limit in sector 2, so this won't be an improvement for him. Other drivers to look down. Mikey Porter apparently is on the medium tyre, which is a bit of a strange gamble to go for on the qualifying session. Same with Matt Raid, in fact, both of which are on the medium tyre for this qualifying session. Matt Raid currently sitting in the pits. Well, looks a bit Madhouse has had a slight off. I'm just trying to see where that is. In fact, actually, he's coming out the pit lane. So he's coming out pits to set some more lap times with 5 minutes left of the session to go. Remember, there is a point available for pole position, which Riquelme is currently in the place to receive. Mikey Porter coming round. Druids there. As seeing no improvements on the timing sheet by the looks of it. In fact, yeah, this is Kevin Budgeon. In fact, he's gone personal best sector 1 and 2. In fact, this could be a very quick lap for him. He's just come out. His last lap round was his out lap. So I'm assuming this is a new set of tyres, a lower fuel level as well. He's currently still up. A bit slower through that corner there. So coming up to the last corner for him. Just nice, neat, tidy. Watch the gravel on the exit. Doesn't use all the circuit. Keeps it to the right-hand side of the circuit. Oh, in fact, he's gone over to the left-hand side of the circuit, and that is an improvement in his lap time. That's a 1:28.5, which now puts him impressively close to Will Johnson. The gap for the top three is currently at just under 0.2 of a second. Will Johnson didn't improve on that lap. Track limits again. Drivers do need to be careful of track limits during the race, as well as the qualifying session. Matt Raid's come back out of the pits, and again, he's still on the medium tyres. Whether that's him just trying to acclimatise himself to those medium tyres before the race. Setting a few red sectors, which shown it's as invalid, which normally hints at track limits. Not seeing any other improvements on lap time on the timing screen here. Oh, slight off there. Who was that in the Toyota? I think that was John. Yeah, I think it was in the Toyota. Just run slightly wide. Very tricky bit of the circuit. See how Kevin comes around this last corner. Is he going to go to the pits? I think he is. Yeah, Raquelme has set a purple sector 1 again. He's on another push lap. And say last time round he did set a 1:28.3. So that was the pole position time as it stands. Slightly slower than those around him in the second sector, only by about a tenth. But with his sector 1 being about 0.3 quicker than anyone else, it would be good to see if he can keep it going around this last corner. Nibbles the curb on the inside, doesn't use all the road this time on the left hand side on the exit, keeps it moderately tight to the inside. And it's a purple sector 3 as well, and it's not an improvement that time. He was just under a tenth away from setting a new pole position time. But a purple sector 1 and purple sector 3 means he's fastest of all during those sectors. So he just needs to find a purple sector 2 in order to improve his lap time. And Josh Nesbitt, the other of the BMW runners, currently leading the championship, as I say. Currently he's going to concede 1 point to Raquelme, who's currently going to receive that 1 point for the pole position time in qualifying. Comes down the hill. It's fast right-hander, probably just knocking it down a gear in, hooking the curb up. Nicely done. Doesn't use any curb on the exits. Nibbles the curb on the entry. Ran a little bit wide into the gravel. That's going to be slightly slower, this sector 3, I'd assume. This gravel does tend to slow you down, as it is its job. A few drivers decided to pit already. It's the end of their qualifying session. Hutton is quite happy with his lap time there of a 1:29.2, which he set on the last time around. I see Josh Nesbitt coming up to finish this lap. Is he going to get another lap in with about 35 seconds left of the session? He's going to start one final lap. Can he improve? In fact, we've just got a new pole position time with a 1:28.0 by Raquelme. He managed to find a personal best in sector 2 and a purple sector 3, which means the gap between him and Will Johnson is now 0.4. It's improved by about 0.3 of a second. So well done to Raquelme. He then invalidates the sector 1 on the next lap. So that'll be him. As we're about to see the checkered flag. 2 seconds to go. 1 second to go. Checkered flag, checkered flag. So by the looks of it, we're going to have Will Johnson over the line first of all on the circuit. In fact, he's pitted One of the Nesbits coming around the last corner just now. Is that going to be improvement? Just trying to figure out who it is. I think it's Ben Nesbitt. In fact, it's an invalid sector 2, and he's going into the pits. Who else have we got? Going around, Madhouse is about to cross the line. Can he improve from his 11th position? It's green sector 2 rather. And it is not an improvement, unfortunately. So his 11th place. We see Josh Nesbitt coming round. Probably the best placed person to try and take that pole position point away, but it looks like he's pitting as well. So looks like Riquelme pole position. Budgeon second, Will Johnson third, Josh Nesbitt, championship leader in fourth, Ollie Hutton, series organiser in fifth, Thibaut Gerton sixth, Ben Nesbitt seventh, Bristow in 8th, Matt Raid 9th, Young in 10th, this is just coming across the line, Callum Parrish 12th, Madhouse, sorry, I've just missed, in 11th, Mikey Porter to finish off the runners in 13th. Just going to wait for final person to cross the line. I think we're waiting for Bristow. Here he is. I don't think he's improved on the sectors by the looks of it. In fact, he's about a second off, and that's the end of the session. So there we have it. We have the pole position, or in fact the whole grid for race number 1 is set with a 1:28.0. That's a very, very quick lap time indeed, as I said earlier, by Sebastian Riquelme. He's really is trying to claw back those 32 points. In fact, it's going to be 31 points now to Josh Nesbitt. He's qualified in 4th. The pole position is normally in a bit of a dip here at Brands Hatch, close to the wall on the right-hand side of the circuit, or the left-hand side of the circuit as we view it on the TV cameras. About 1 minute and 50 seconds until we go to race number 1 here. As I say, we've got 3 races left to decide this championship. A nice chunk of points still outstanding. Theoretically, championship is actually between Josh Nesbitt and Sebastian Riquelme. Second place, runner-up. You'd kind of have to place your bets at Riquelme at this stage. He's got 202 points at the moment, with Ben Nesbitt, his closest rival to that position, in 169 points. So there is a slim chance that Ben can get that second place. And for third in the championship, it's a 4-way fight. Again, Thibaut Gerton currently sitting in 4th, Ben Nesbitt in 3rd, Ollie Hutton in 5th as well. We have actually got 3 drivers towards the end of the top 10 in the championship, all on 100 points. Ben Maskell in 8th, 100 points. 9th, Will Johnson, 100 points, as I say. And John in 10th, 100 points. So you'd kind of expect them not to be on the 100 points come the end of this evening's action. So we see here the grid. I'm just waiting for Riquelme to load in, or in fact he has loaned in. Who's that we're missing? There he is, in the BMW, as I say, on the left-hand side of your grid. Ford Focus there of Budgeon on the right-hand side, followed by Will Johnson in the Toyota Corolla. BMW of Josh Nesbitt is on the outside, position 4th. Ollie Hutton in 5th. We've got 3 seconds left to go. The red lights are coming on. And here we go, the lights are out. It looks like a jump start from Callum Parrish. It's unfortunate as the BMWs, as you'd expect with a rear-wheel drive power, launch away from the start. Brilliant start by Josh Nesbitt there. We come up to BMWs are fighting. This is for the championship lead. There's a few contact behind. The contact there as well between the 2 BMWs. Still Riquelme in 1st, Josh Nesbitt in 2nd. sliding out of the corner. Bit of power out of the corner. That's what you like to see. More contact behind. Can't quite pick up who's having a little bit of contact. But I'm sure it's all clean as we are seeing drivers continue, which is really good to see. A little bit of running wide there. I think that was Callum Parrish. To come down the hill, the BMW's hunted by Will Johnson in that Toyota Corolla. They're side by side through the fast right-hander. That's very brave to stay on the outside there. Just enough room. Will Johnson tries to nibble in. There's a Ford Focus in the background that was off. I think that was Ben Nesbitt for third position in the championship. Oh, there's a BMW off. Riquelme's off. What happened there? Was there contact? Yes, there was contact, unfortunately. That's really unfortunate to see. Riquelme's off. Josh Nesbitt's in the lead. Will that be seen by the stewards after the race? Most likely. Will Johnston's now taking the race to Josh Nesbitt. We come to the end of the first lap. Drivers on the soft tyre, the top four at the moment. Josh Nesbitt, Will Johnson, Ollie Hutton, Bristow. First of your medium runners is Girton, as Callum Parrish is off the circuit. Girton has overtaken Bristow, who seems to be having a slight bit of issue. Can't quite pick out where he is. Sideways there. I'm pretty sure that was Ollie Hutton. Sideways down Paddock Hill Bend, which is really impressive. BMW there. Riquelme fighting his way back past the Vauxhall Astra of Thibaut Girton. Callum Parrish is stopped on the circuit there by the looks of it. With Mikey Porter just being overtaken by Ben Nesbitt, who I believe it was having a bit of an issue. Yeah, Callum Parrish is backwards at the moment in Clearway's gravel trap, the last corner. According to my timing screen. Hopefully that's not going to cause a safety car. If it does, that's 2/10 gap. In fact, it's coming right the way down. Josh Nesbitt is under attack. But Will Johnson, who's at the purple sector 1. That's Callum Parrish car is still there, which is concerning to see. Hopefully race control can get him moved. If not, it is a safety car. That's unfortunate to see. It was a nice battle just about to see. But it does mean that those that were unlucky in the first couple of corners, Riquelme for one, Budgeon as well, in fact, down there in 12th. Ben Nesbitt, this is their chance to regroup, settle back in as we see the Hyundai there stuck in that gravel trap. Not sure as to why he is still sitting there, but it's really unfortunate to see. As the cars come up to collect the safety car, there is Callum Parrish. It's a great place to watch from there, but you do need to be facing the correct direction to watch it. Hopefully we're just going to see a one lap safety car. See that very bright orange Alfa Romeo coming round. Bit of weaving, a bit on the grass there for Josh Nesbitt. Needs to be careful of that. Remember, you can't weave the whole width of the circuit either. Breaking the rules and regulations. Just in case anyone needs to overtake you for whatever reason. Obviously there is no overtaking under the safety car. Big weaves. Almost trying to knock the safety car out of the way there. Josh Nesbitt wants to get going. As you see the last of the cars. The Ford Focus, the Budgeon, just at the back of the field there. Just behind the Bumblebee. Mikey Porter. Car lights are still on. Expect them to be going out any second now. It looks like there's might have been a little bit of contact there, I don't know. Safety car lights are out, so we are going racing this time round. 9 laps left of this race. Keeping it all nice. Slow. See when we're ready to go. When's Josh Nesbitt going to choose to go? He can't catch the safety car. If he does catch the safety car, there'll be penalties. I think he's gone already. Ooh, that was slightly naughty by the looks of it. I think he went and then slowed down after the corner. That'll be up to the stewards. Still weaving around. I think he's gone. He has gone now. He's pulled the pin, hooked the inside curb, run it out wide. That's it. Nice little gap there to Will Johnson. Bigger gap than what he had before. Weaving, trying to get some more tyre temp as we go green here. back at Brands Hatch GP, sliding sideways through that paddock hill bend for Will Johnson. Second place, hunted down by Ollie Hutton. If he stays in this position, that will be his first podium of the season, which is always good to see. But he has got the very quick Riquelme behind him in the BMWs. Obviously, he's there for the championship. He wants to get back up ahead of Josh Nesbitt. You're seeing change of position. Oh, massive contact. That's Matt Raid off. There's a bumblebee. I think that was Ben Nesbitt. I think was involved. Looking else, who else was involved? Young, I think, was involved as well in that. Madhouse is off the circuit at the following corner. That's unfortunate for Matt Raid. He's been having a relatively solid season. Other than that, it's not how you want to see the safety car. He's got a massive gap now. About 5 seconds to Madhouse. The car ahead. It's going around to complete lap number 4. As Ollie Hutton has conceded that third place to Riquelme. Riquelme has done personal best sector 1 and a purple. The best of anyone in sector 2. I'd expect this to be another fastest lap of the race for Riquelme as he comes around the circuit. Josh Nesbitt sets fastest lap of the race, followed by Riquelme. Setting the fastest lap of 1:29.4. Very quick indeed on race pace. Now he's just got that Toyota between him and the other BMW. Looks down the inside, the paddock hill bend. Is he going to stay down the outside? Coming into Graham Hill bend, it's brave to stick around the outside. Going to get the switch back, a little bit of a wobble, puts him off that. Almost track limits there on the exit. Trying to get the hook up, the late apex around the corner. Oh, sliding sideways there for Ollie Hutton. Using a lot of speed. You need to really focus on the exit of that corner because it's a huge, longest straight on the circuit. As we see, Ben Nesbitt, Budgeon fighting, 2 Ford Focuses. Ben Nesbitt in the Bumblebee, black and yellow car. Just conceded the place. Right up under the rear wing of Budgeon. Is he going to have a look into the right-hander? It's very brave to go down the inside there. Is he going to just try and set it up for the next third gear corner? No dive there. Well played. Looking for a potential move into the first corner, or even the big stop of the hairpin at Druids. As you see, the lead gap now is 2.5 tenths. Will Johnson sets fastest lap of the race. That's a 1:29.403. So he's pushing on. He's the eating a BMW sandwich there in the Toyota. See, Josh Nesbitt, a bit of track limits there for Riquelme again. Just needs to watch that. Riquelme purple sector 3, side by side there on the exit. Madhouse, Young and Porter all involved. Porter in the Ford Focus at the rear of the field there. Will Johnson's taken the lead. Look at that. Now it's Will Johnson taking an outright win. This would be brilliant to see this. BMWs have dominated the field when they've taken part. With the exception of one round, I believe it was at Alton Park, race 2, I'm going to say it was. And I believe it was Ben Nesbitt, I think, that took the win for that. So, Will Johnson probably using the fact he's got more boost than the 2 BMW drivers to claim that first place. Hooks the curb up there. A little bit of a bounce. Doesn't seem to slow him down on the exit. Purple sector 2 for Will Johnson. And again, 1:28.3. Fastest lap of the race. It's another point going towards Will Johnson in his battle with Ben Maskell, who's not here this evening, and John, who is here this evening, who's just in 10th position currently. As the BMWs are back fighting. This is a battle for the championship. Riquelme really needs to outscore Josh Nesbitt here. Madhouse gone down the inside of the Honda of Young. Honda's going down the inside, just enough room. Oh, squeezed towards the apex. Good racing between the two of them. A little bit of a squeeze on the exit as well. Cuts back over to the racing line. Breaks in at nice central position. Out, breaks himself slightly. The Honda's read that really well. Down the inside. This is going to be a nice block pass coming into the corner that you really need to focus on the exit of. Honda around the outside, nearly the grass. He's got the run. Get on the power earlier. And that's it. Maybe a little bit of boost as well to go with it. Great battle here for the final positions in the top 10. Really good to see. As we're seeing, Ollie Hutton, Thibaut Gurton swapping places again. The medium runner of Gurton in the Vauxhall Astra. Just claimed that position from Ollie Hutton. Swap for fourth. Ollie Hutton's going to go down the inside. A little bit of a look there. It's a very brave pass around that corner here at Brands Hatch. You would expect the soft-tired Cupra of Ollie Hutton, the yellow and blue car, to be slightly faster than the Astra. It's a little bit of contact. Ollie Hutton's backed out of that because he knew there was contact, didn't want to pass. Didn't make a pass by making contact. Clever racing, but it has meant that Bristow in the Toyota is up again. Ollie Hutton down the inside. That's it. Nicely done. Can the Vauxhall Astra get down the inside on the exit? Not quite. The medium tyres aren't quite working as planned. Great battle to see here for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th if you include the two drivers that are lurking in the background. As we see, Riquelme has now got past Josh Nesbitt for 2nd place. There's a little bit of contact there. Thibaut Gurton into the rear of Ollie Hutton. BMWs are fighting. That's down the inside. That's very, very brave. There's contact. There is contact. I can't quite see what's happened. My screen's frozen, unfortunately. Riquelme still ahead of Nesbitt. There wasn't really space to go for a move, but luckily they are still how they were coming into that move. Bristow has lost 2 positions, one to Ollie Hutton and the other to Budgeon, further back down the grid. Flipped the curb quite harshly there for Riquelme. There's Bristow. What's happened? This is still a fight. There's the Ford of Budgeon and Ollie Hutton battling. So we go up Hellwards Hill, down the inside. Little look for the Ford Focus at the back of the grid there. Hutton slightly wide, middle of the road, back to the racing line, clips the apex nicely, runs slightly wide. Conceded that position, as I say, to the harder shot Vauxhall Astra. Oh, there's a big accident there. Who's that involved? Matt Raid again, unfortunately. There's contact again between Hutton. Oh, that's naughty by Gurton. Just taps Ollie Hutton sideways, and that's Budgeon taking advantage of that. That'll be seen by the stewards after the race, I'm sure. Gurton right behind the Ford Focus. Budgeon, who's just taken that position away. I wonder whether Gurton's just struggling on these set of medium tyres. Just struggling to pace himself against the soft tyres, which you'd expect to be slightly faster. So we've got just 2 laps left of this race, which went relatively quickly. So there still is a battle for second. Will Johnson has now got a 2.5 second gap to the pair of BMWs fighting. There he is. Brilliant to see. A front-wheel drive car taking a win away from the BMWs. The BMWs are still fighting, slightly wide there, Riquelme. Maybe using some boost on the straight. It'll be the place I use it. Out of that corner, up the hill, out the corner, down the hill. Here another, again, hook the curb up nicely. Switch back to the Ford Focus of Budgeon, followed by medium shot Thibaut Gurton. And dispossessed Ollie Hutton trying to regain the places. Whether he's got a little bit of damage or whether it's just a knock to the confidence. It's never nice being knocked off the circuit. But these things happen in racing, and I'm sure the stewards will penalise if they see fit to make everything fair again. Fastest lap of the race is still with Will Johnson, so that's 1 point going towards him, so we don't need to take note of that in the championship fight. Ben Nesbitt, where's he got to? Still in third position. Seeing a few track limits. I saw 2 laps ago Will Johnson got pinged for track limits. In this lap again he's got sector 1 track limits, and that gap is down by a second to the BMWs. 1.3 seconds now the gap, so I wonder whether it was a slight mistake that led. In fact, he was a second slower in sector 1, so there was a mistake for Will Johnson somewhere. Oh, there was a slight mistake from Josh Nesbitt around that corner. Will Johnson just needs to bring it home, as this is the final lap of the race. Perhaps that's what he's just doing. Just making sure he keeps it on the circuit as he comes round the penultimate corner to take what's going to be a race victory. So it is going to be the Toyota, the front-wheel drive of Will Johnson, coming across the line to take his first victory of the season, followed by Riquelme and Josh Nesbitt in the BMWs, Kevin Budgeon in the Ford Focus, closely followed by Thibaut Gurton, come 4th and 5th. 6th position for Bristow, followed by the Bumblebee of Ben Nesbitt. Ollie Hutton, after falling off the circuit, finishes 8th. And the sole Honda on the field is going to finish in 9th position. And then Matt Raid, who we saw in a few bits of contact, finishes the top 10 out. Matt House is going to be the last of the finishers after his incidents in 11th position. And Mikey Porter finished 4 laps down in the pits. And Callum Parrish, after that incident that caused the safety car, doesn't score the points. Well, there we have it. Race 1 finished. Will Johnson takes a very good win. 1.3 seconds, or just under 1.4 seconds, in fact, is the gap for the BMWs. The fighting championship battle of Riquelme and Nesbitt. Importantly for Riquelme, he's outscored Josh Nesbitt, so that keeps his championship hopes alive. Ben Nesbitt has outscored Thibaut Gurton as well, so that's really helpful for his. Sewalt's not here this week, so he's in 6th at the moment, so he's not going to score any additional points. So I think that's going to mean that Rick Bristow is going to overtake him in the championship. Off some quick maths, we'll see all the drivers returning to the pits as they go for a quick toilet break, grab some water if needed, and then disconnect the server, load back in for race number 2, which is coming up in a few minutes' time. Let's see. Welcome back. Race number 2 is just a minute and a half away. That's race 1 results. They've shaken up the championship slightly, and also the results themselves were slightly shaken up as Rick Bristow and Ben Nesbitt both received track limits penalties of 10 seconds, which meant Bristow was demoted to 7th, Ben Nesbitt demoted to 8th. Just unfortunate for them, and also unfortunate for their championship fight. Josh Nesbitt leads the way with 250 points at the moment, with Sebastian Riquelme 219 points. So it's the fight between those two for the championship overall. So we've got 40 seconds to go. I'll quickly run out. Ben Nesbitt is currently in 3rd with 177 points. Just 6 behind him is Thibaut Gerten, 171. Ollie Hutton, 156 points in 5th. Sewalt is in 6th with 122. See, he doesn't score any points tonight because he's not here. Will Johnson, 1 point behind him with 121 points. So that's all going to change as we're 10 seconds away from race number 2 of the evening. The penultimate race of the championship is 5 seconds away as we look towards the lights. As Will Johnson on pole position gets away. Can he keep the BMWs behind him? Almost. As the BMWs then just in the second phase of getting away, get past him, as you'd expect with the rear wheel drive power as they go down the hill and up again, Hailwoods Hill into Druids. Will Johnson keeps that 3rd position. Thibaut Gerten behind him in the Vauxhall Astra, side by side Ollie Hutton. With, I believe that's Budgeon again. And trying from all timing screens to try and catch up. I can tell you who's in which position. BMW's 1-2, followed by the Vauxhall Astra now of Thibaut Gerten. He's got past Will Johnson, race 1 winner. The soft tyres for Thibaut Gerten this race. Obviously, you remember that the top 3 from race number 1 need to start on the harder compound tyre. So that's Riquelme, Josh Nesbitt, and Will Johnson. Only while Will Johnson's been overtaken, Ollie Hutton's decided to start on the harder tyre, as has Matt Reid and Callum Parrish, by the looks of it. As we come around to complete the first lap, Will Johnson putting a bit of pressure on Thibaut Gerten and the Vauxhall Astra. Just goes down the inside. Battle for the lead, side by side, coming across the line. Oh, he's got the position done before the first corner. That's Josh Nesbitt now ahead of Riquelme. Not what Riquelme needs for his championship, especially as he's now got the soft-tyred Vauxhall Astra right under his rear wing. Battle further back. It's very close between the two BMWs. You don't want to make contact with a rear-wheel drive car as they will just go round very easily. Down the inside for Riquelme. Can he keep that position? No, not quite. The wider line, the slightly cambered circuit means that Josh Nesbitt keeps that position. Riquelme compromised through that corner, meant that Gerten has caught him slightly. And the purple sector 1 as well from Gerten. It means he's absolutely flying in this lap. So he is going to push on, try and get Riquelme. As Will Johnson is now having a look in the Toyota. Black and red Toyota right up behind that Vauxhall Astra. Is he going to have a look down the inside of this corner? No, he's not. He's playing it sensible. Is he going to look for the last corner, or is he going to try and set up a move into Paddock Hill Bend? It'll have to be a very brave move to make it. Slight wobble there in the Toyota in the background. As the gap between first and second has extended to 0.6 of a second. So come up to start lap number 3. Josh Nesbitt has got fastest lap of the race at the moment, 1:29.9. So some extra points for him. Thibaut Gerten, slight lock up there from the inside. Very close up behind Riquelme. Becoming slightly sideways through the corner. The Graham Hill bend, very tricky one to get used to. Wider line in, right up behind Josh Nesbitt now. Much better run through that section of the circuit. Right up behind the other BMW. He's going to challenge down the right-hander. Fast right-hander. It's going to be a little dab on the brakes. Down a gear and in. Can he get the cut back down the inside? It's not really an overtaking place. Extra curb taken in a shallower line, but Riquelme slightly slower through that section of the circuit. Means that he's now not attacking, he's more defending from the Vauxhall Astra of Girton. The Vauxhall Astra seems the most attacking one here, as you'd expect, on the softer compound tyre. It still is 4.5 for the lead, really, as you've got Budgeon just keeping a watch in the Ford Focus in 5th position. Closest battle there, by the looks of it, is that one there now at the end, as Budgeon now sets the fastest lap of the race. 1:29.6. Lots of smoke coming through that corner there for Ben Nesbitt, who is outscoring Bristow, which is what he needs to do. He just needs to outscore Girton. It's Girton outscoring Ben Nesbitt at the moment for that 3rd position in the championship. It's the one we need to pay attention to, as well as that lead battle as well, because Riquelme really needs to try and claw some more points back. There is 31 points between them at the moment, and with a race win giving you 20 points, it still is mathematically possible, but it's going to be a tough thing to do to knock Josh Nesbitt off P1 in the championship. BMW's really close now, 1.5 tenths, 1/10 as they come up to the very fast right-hander blind turn in. More curb taken from the second BMW of Riquelme as he slides on the exit. The blue banner, the windscreen banner, denotes Riquelme. Josh Nesbitt, the darker windscreen banner on the identical liveried BMWs. More curb taken for the second of those BMWs by Riquelme. Slightly wider line through the last corner, as the gap has gone out again. The fastest lap of the race, Thibaut Girton, Vauxhall Astra. Missed the apex there, Josh Nesbitt, slight mistake, which means Riquelme can attack. Josh Nesbitt defends, side-by-side contact between the BMWs. This opens the door nicely for the Vauxhall Astra, who's now squeezing him onto the grass. Squeezing him back onto the grass. Nice cut back from the Astra. Very nice, well done. That's a really brilliant overtaking move. In fact, he's going to go for 2 positions. He's going to go for the race lead. The Vauxhall Astra leads. We saw a similar move by Will Johnson. Contact there again between the 2 BMWs, as Riquelme wants to fight for this position for the championship. In fact, Josh Nesbitt's going to go down the inside of the fast right-hander. The Astra keeping it to the outside. No contact made. Brilliant stuff. Is the Astra going to go for a look down the inside? It is. Is he being seen by the BMW? It is, but it means they're both compromised, which means the BMW of Riquelme is now getting involved, and there's now a big queue because Budgeon's now involved as well in the Ford Focus. Will Johnson's rubbing his hands, waiting for all this to come to an accident, and so he can take another race win. As the BMW looks again down the inside at the last corner of Thibaut Girton. Oh, it's all calmed down for a minute. I can grab my breath. As the BMW looks down the start-finish straight, down the inside into Paddock Hill Bend. He's going to be later on the brakes. No, the Astra's later on the brakes as he just... No overlap. Brilliant stuff. Well held by Thibaut Girton. Normally you see a position change in hands, but it wasn't then. Well defended by Thibaut Girton to keep the race lead. Followed by the Josh Nesbitt BMW and fellow BMW of Riquelme. And having a look here at the Ford Focus, slightly lagging back now in 4th position. Bit of a gap to the fighting top 3 for those podium positions. Side by side again for the BMWs. This is for the championship lead. This is what we're all here to see. Side by side, contact made. Oh, it's a very fast, small margin for error there as we see further contact with Ollie Hutton and Zhong in the background. On the timing screen, that's Riquelme compromised by those bits of contact. And he's been attacked again by Kevin Budgeon Ford Focus, who in turns having to defend and attack because he's got Will Johnson right up behind him, who's now been caught by the Bumblebee, Ben Nesbitt. First two have got away slightly from the third BMW. We see Madhouse is now overtaken Callum Parrish for 11th position further down the grid. And fastest lap of the race still is with that leading Vauxhall Astra, Thibaut Gerten, 1:29.3. We're into the 28th. Will Johnson and Ben Nesbitt swapping positions. Nesbitt gone for the inside there. There's a little bit of contact, but both cars survived to tell the tale. That's a mistake there by Riquelme. That's not what he needs. Ran wide. That's going to be a track limits infringement. And he's now got the Ford Focus right up behind him. He takes a wider line into this corner. As I say, really key position to position the car for the exit of this to get as much speed as possible down the straight, which he has got. Maybe a little bit of boost as he's trying to stick around the outside. Is he going to go for the switchback mover? Again, off the circuit. Riquelme really struggling on those medium tyres. I do recall seeing, oh, he's in the gravel. That's going to be championship decided. That's Josh Nesbitt. That's probably the championship decided there for Riquelme, which is really unfortunate to see. He's going to have to try and fight his way back through as we've got 5 laps remaining. Oh, contact again with the Bristow Toyota. Up ahead, Will Johnson and Kevin Budgeon fighting ahead as well. As there's now a gap. Thibaut Gerten, another fastest lap of the race, 1:29.1. So that could be the championship decided all by those mistakes. I do, as I go back to my previous point, remember a conversation with the BMW guys saying the BMW doesn't like the harder medium compound that we're running this evening. They do like that softer tyre, so perhaps Riquelme is just struggling on that medium tyre more than championship leader Josh Nesbitt is. That might just be, as I say, championship decided. I do hope it isn't, but there's a nice little battle I've just seen. Porter and Parrish, as we see on the screen there. They were side by side into Druids, previous, or 2 corners ago now. Great to see Parrish not in the gravel trap and rotating around. It's Brands Hatch GP circuit. Fighting for positions with Mikey Porter in the Ford Focus, as Ben Nesbitt has now got the better of Will Johnson. Will Johnson must have made a mistake of some sort, as he's now got the BMW down the inside. Riquelme's down the inside at the last corner. Clean overtake. Can the Toyota get the cut back and down the inside? He stays down the inside. It's a great position to overtake. There's a little bit of contact as Riquelme, I don't think, saw that he still had an overlap with the Toyota. Kinks out wide. Going to go for the cut back. Down the inside, up Hailwood's Hill. And the BMW is probably going to have this position made. That's it. Nice, clean overtake eventually. As that gap between the top two is just hovering around that 0.2 of a second gap. So we're watching here that fight between that BMW, the second of the BMWs, one that's in the championship fight. Just overtaken Will Johnson, who coming into this round was on 100 points, fighting for around the 10th position. In fact, he's jumped up to 7th after that first race. And Will Johnson's got back past Riquelme by the looks of it on the timing tower. As Riquelme's falling further back down, Bristow's got back past him. Oh, and Ollie Hutton's gone past as well, so Riquelme's the one to watch. Will Johnson's got Bristow. Will Johnson's off There's a change for the lead. There's changes everywhere. I don't know who to watch. Will Johnson's off. Race one winner. Well, that is off. There's a battle there for the race lead, side by side. Not leaving any room there, the BMW. As the Astra takes the lead. Back down into this first corner. Down the hill. Up Hailwoods Hill. Under the footbridge. BMW dives to the inside. A little bit of contact, as you see quite often through touring cars around Druids. It's the outside line now, though, for the BMW. He's going to get the cut back and the run. Remember, it's this next corner that's the key bit. To get the run down the straight, he's going to cut. Oh, I thought he was going to go for the inside then. He's going to go for that wider line. Is he going to go for the wider line and get the run out the corner? Slight slide on the exit. I think there might have been a bit of boost for Thibaut Gurton. And the slide for the BMW of Nesbitt means that he's under attack from the Ford Focus. Ford Focus goes around the outside. Can he keep that position? Hats off for keeping him on the circuit there. BMW could easily have squeezed him out. Is he going to make the position round sideways? The BMW have been side by side for 2 corners, 3 corners, 4 corners as they go through the fastest corner of the circuit. Oh my, that's well played. No contact through those corners. Very well done for both Budgeon and Josh Nesbitt. Respectful driving for both of them. As I'm starting to lose my voice slightly now, calling this action wide for the BMW. That means that the Ford Focus is going to claim that position. So all that hard work, battling cleanly with the Ford Focus a few corners ago rather, it's just all been unravelled as he's now under attack from the Ben Nesbitt black and yellow car. As I'm seeing a time penalty, 10-second time penalty for Zhang, who's currently in 8th position, 10 seconds. That'll drop him back to probably 11th as it currently stands. That's unfortunate. That'll be for a track limits infringement. Side by side, Ollie Hutton and Riquelme. Both are trying to work their way back through, both on the medium tyre. Ollie Hutton after the incident in race 1, and Riquelme the incidents in this race here. Side by side in the exit. BMW is probably going to have the power out of it. That's it. Position made down the straight. A little bit of a wobble for Ollie Hutton as he couldn't decide whether to go down the inside or not. He sticks behind the BMW. He's looking down the inside. It's a brave position to go. Making the car defend, which means you can try and get the cut back. Just going to stay behind him for now. Biding his time. He cuts the grass. No, Ollie! What have you done? Such an easy mistake to make. But that's him out of that battle. Falling back to 10th now. Is it going to be 11th? Ollie Hutton. Such a shame from what was going to be a race 1 where he was fighting for podium positions early on. That's how quickly the weekend unravels. That's the end of the race. Thibaut Gurton wins. Budgeon 2nd. Josh Nesbitt 3rd. Ben Nesbitt 4th. Bristow. Riquelme. Zhang, who's going to have that 10-second time penalty. Matt Raid. Will Johnson. Ollie Hutton limps across the line. I wonder whether he's out of fuel or whether it's damage or just damaged pride, as he's going to have, in fact, another. He has got fuel because I can hear revs. So I wonder whether this is a reverse grid play. As obviously the results from this, the top, or should I say 6 to 12 gets reversed. So with the 6 to 12 being reversed, we'll get the reverse grid draw very shortly. Drivers don't know yet, nor do we, who is going to be on that reverse grid pole position. As I say, 6th to 12th get are drawn. Whichever number is drawn goes on to pole position. Thibaut Gurton won that race. I believe he had fastest lap of the race as well. Yes, he did, of the 1:29.1. Budgeon 2nd, which is really good to see. Ford Focus up there as well. Josh Nesbitt, I think that's going to be championship for him now. 3rd position, followed by Ben Nesbitt. Ben Nesbitt and that Thibaut Gerton fight, I think that probably is going to switch positions. I think Thibaut Gerton's now going to be sitting in third position in the championship. Just see all the drivers coming back, parking in the pit lane. So we get ready for the final race of the championship. Just going to wait for the reverse grid draw, as I say, to find out who is going to be on that. Here we go. As I say, 6th through to 12th. I didn't actually note down who was going to be, who's in those positions, but we'll have to see in a minute. As it is, position number 8. I didn't quite see who it was, so bear with us and I'll find out exactly who it was as we cross the line. That was in 8th. I believe it was Matt Raid. Matt Raid, I believe, was in 8th position, so he gets promoted to pole. However, I believe 7th was the Honda of Young, and I believe Young had a 10-second penalty, so Matt Raid might be on 1st or 2nd. It might be Will Johnson, in fact, on pole position. We'll have to wait and see. It's either Will Johnson or Matt Raid on pole position, followed by either Matt Raid or Riquelme, Bristow, Ben Nesbitt, Josh Nesbitt, Budgeon, Thibaut Gerton. As we wait for the server to tick over and find out who's going to be our champion. Just waiting for the championship points to update. In fact, yeah, I've got that confirmed there at the moment. Obviously, all provisional. All championship standings are provisional until the stewards have had a chance to take a look at any incidents that may be reported. So currently, as it stands, Josh Nesbitt has 265 points in first position in the championship. Riquelme, second, 231, with that being a 35-point gap. And the most points you can score in a race being 23, I believe, or 22, in fact. I believe that is championship to Josh Nesbitt. So Riquelme has actually secured that second position. So first and second is secured. So it's the battle for third that is going to be all eyes on for this final race. Thibaut Gerton, 192 points. Ben Nesbitt, 190 points. So that's the battle we need to pay attention to, with just 2 points in it. And I think it's Ben Nesbitt's going to be starting ahead of Thibaut Gerton by a few positions as well. So that's going to be a battle to pay attention to. Ollie Hutton, I'm pretty sure, has secured 5th in the standings as well with 161 points. And then there's a fight again for 6th. Will Johnson currently in 6th with 129. 1 point behind him is Rick Bristow with 128. Sir Walt's obviously not here this weekend. 122 points. 114 points for Jong. 100 points for Ben Maskell, again not here. Madhouse in 12th. 88 points. He can score some points as well. He's here this weekend. So we've got about a minute till the final race of the championship. It's all been very, very quick this evening, but the whole season as well. Remember, this is round number 6 of 6. Championship has been decided with Josh Nesbitt, obviously provisionally, as I say. So we see there, Will Johnson is our pole position as the light starts to fade here at Brands Hatch GP. So it's Will Johnson in the Toyota on pole position, followed by Matt Raid after his race 1 issues. Can he take a victory? It's Riquelme in 3rd. On the left-hand side, Toyota of Bristow on the right, followed by Ben Nesbitt, Josh Nesbitt, Budgeon, Gerton in 8th. 9th is Young, 10th is Madhouse, 11th Ollie Hutton, Mikey Porter, is 11th and 12th. I believe that is Parish, the last of our runners. As the red lights are about to come on for this, the final race of the championship. Here we go, lights are on and they're away. Oh, Callum Parish jump start for the final race. That's such a shame as the BMW cuts through the first row of the grid. Matt Reid keeps it round the outside of the Toyota. Brilliant move, that's a position gained. That BMW of Riquelme looking to finish off with a race win. Oh, contact there. Someone, I think it was one of the Toyotas, hit the back of the Toyota of Will Johnson. There's now 3 wide. Close my eyes, I don't want to look. There's more contact in the background. That's the Bumblebee of Ben Nesbitt off. There's a BMW off as well in the background I saw. What on earth has gone on there? The timing screen's lit up with a lot of contact. Josh Nesbitt, championship leader, provisionally your champion, all the way back down in 12th. As we see a fight here for the podium positions, Matt Reid just coming off the grass, slightly clipping there with Will Johnson as they go through the fast right-hander. Still side by side as they come in a second of those right-handers that are very quick, just down the gear. Brilliant racing room left by Will Johnson there on the exit. Matt Reid still, are they going to keep side by side through the right-hander? Matt Reid just thinks better of it and backs out slightly as he's now got another Ford Budgeon. It's been very quick this weekend. Right up behind him. So it's Riquelme at the end of the first lap. Leads the way with about 2.3 second gap. Followed by race 2's winner, Thibaut Gurton. Followed by Will Johnson in third position. Who's got Matt Reid, Budgeon, Young, all close behind. There's Riquelme off at the first corner. Unpressured. He's just fallen off the circuit. So that's now lost almost 2 second gap. This is changing of positions. Young's got past Matt Reid and Ollie Hutton's got past Madhouse. It's further back as there is contact between Madhouse and Ollie Hutton. Side by side by the looks of it. On the timing screen, more cars falling off the circuit. As we see the low lights, oh, that's a dangerous move there by a Toyota. I think that might have been Bristow, but we'll have to wait and see. Ollie Hutton battling with his mate Matt Reid there. Up the back straight. And so the final race of the championship. Everyone has got that feeling of final race of the championship. They all want to finish on the podium for the final time. Ollie Hutton trying to look down the inside of Matt Reid. There is a little bit of front to rear contact. Reid's going down the inside of Young in the Honda. Just goes out of our picture as they all go side by side. Young's off the circuit. He comes back on the circuit. Reid's past him. Madhouse is past him. Ollie Hutton's been passed by Madhouse. He stays behind Young though. As we come on, 10 laps remain of this season. Bristow's now got past Ollie Hutton as well. Was that side by side by Young as well? I think he was sideways. Yeah, he was sideways through that camera angle again. I don't quite know what went on there, but it was off the circuit. That's such a shame. You never want your... In fact, I believe Parish is in the pits with... Has he crashed into the pit lane or has he just stopped at the pit lane? So Paris is in the pits and I believe Young's in the pits as well. Getting some damage. I don't know if they were having a contact through that last corner. I can't quite see, but it's not how they want to finish their championship in the pit lane. Sebastian Riquelme secured that second position now in the championship. And he's going on for a race win. It's always good to take a race win at the last round. You're only as good as your last race. This being the last race of the championship. A week gap before the next series starts. Formula Cars is the next championship in 2 weeks' time. Be brilliant to see. Will Johnson's off the road in 4th position, which means his gap to Matt Reid has shrunk massively. Once he's finished playing the sandpit, he can get back going, try and hunt down the top 3, which is now a huge gap, about 4 seconds. Fastest lap of the race, Riquelme, 1:29.5. He's hunted down. Whoa, that's Madhouse. Off the road. It's very impressive to go off the road there as he loses 2 positions. One to Matt Raid, one to Bristow. It's all just starting to calm down a bit, which is great because I'm losing my voice. BMW there. Josh Nesbitt trying to fight back after his opening lap issues. I didn't quite see what happened, but he was off the circuit at this corner by quite a way. Bristow, slight wobble on the exit. Oh, Madhouse smacked the barriers in the background there. I don't know whether there was contact with anyone else. There is contact with Ollie Hutton. I think he might have just clipped Ollie Hutton on the way back in. That's really unfortunate. Ollie Hutton has continued going. He has got Nesbitt right up behind him still. Ben Nesbitt, that is. So there was contact there. Really unfortunate to see. Okay, take a look. There's a lot of front end damage by the looks of it on that Ollie Hutton. Cupra comes up to this fast right-hander, followed by Ben Nesbitt. So that fight for third, with Thibaut Gerton in second in the race. That fight for third in the championship is going the way of Thibaut Gerton at the moment, unless Ben Nesbitt can find something in the next 7 laps. Fastest lap of the race, 1:28.5. Purple, all 3 sectors, Sebastian Riquelme. Showing he really is the class of the field, even if he hasn't won the championship. It's 3.7 seconds. Madhouse, after a lot of contact that lap with the barrier, has come into the pits, more than likely for repairs. Ben Nesbitt's claimed that position past Ollie Hutton. Ollie Hutton takes more grass than circuit through Graham Hill Bend. They come up, join in the GP loop. This is the closest battle on the circuit between the front end damaged Ollie Hutton. I'd like to have seen Ollie get a podium this season. It hasn't been. Puts a lot of hard work into this championship, as does Peter Cornelius, Matt Raid, Madhouse as well. Ben Nesbitt again, another one to mention. Developed these cars. Hats off to him. It's been a very close championship. It's even closer between these two now. Ollie Hutton going to look down the inside. No, earlier on the brakes. He's going to try and get the run round the last corner. Fastest lap of the race, Will Johnson. 1:28.4. He's flying now in his Toyota. Trying to finish off the championship with a podium position at very least. Currently sitting in 4th position. Just 2 seconds away from 3rd place. Budgeon, just to mention, is on the medium tyres, as is Bristow and Ben Nesbitt, as we're seeing here. Mikey Porter as well on those medium tyres. Everyone else on the softs. And it's all starting to quiet down with 6 laps remaining. 4.3 seconds is the lead gap. Riquelme to Thibaut Gerton. Riquelme, as I say, secured those 2nd position in the championship. Thibaut Gerton, as it currently stands, with Ben Nesbitt in 8th position, will take 3rd in the championship by some number of points, with it being 2-point the gap coming into this race. Nesbitt needed to finish ahead of Gerton to reverse those positions, but doesn't look like it's going to be possible unless, as I say, he can find something in the next 5 laps. Gerton comes across the line. Contact between Hutton and Ben Nesbitt. Hutton is still behind though, so there's no swap of position. Hutton looking down the inside. He's on the soft tyre, so he should be able to get past Ben Nesbitt. Ben's a very good defender, a very good racer. So it isn't going to be easy. And obviously he is in that 3rd place fight for the championship standings. Track limits warnings coming up on the screen for Will Johnson. Doesn't want to get a penalty, especially as he's hunting down Budgeon in third place. Stutter. Hutton right behind Ben Nesbitt still. Apologies for the slight connection issues we're experiencing. Our broadcaster does live near a ship canal, and there is a large container ship currently going past, which obviously all the best. You don't get that on the BBC. Fighting for positions, continuing. Ben Nesbitt trying to get away from Ollie Hutton. Closest battle on the field. 4 laps remain of this season. Has been a very good season, I must say. Very well put on by the guys. It's a free to enter championship. So, yes, no one's getting paid to do all this. It's all voluntary. So, really hats off to everyone that I mentioned a few minutes ago for putting on the series. I've just been told it was a 120-metre tanker that's just gone past. So that would be why there's a little bit of stuttering in our connection here. As I say, you don't get that. Don't get that on the Formula One. Will Johnson's been caught by Josh Nesbitt, and that's why he's been caught, because he's fallen in the gravel. Will Johnson, nice, easy position. Whoa, sideways, drifting through that corner. I don't remember the Toyota Corolla being a rally car, but it was there for a few seconds. Lights are on, it's flashing away. I don't know whether that's just pushing the wrong button as he tries to go for the boost to try and keep that 5th position from Matt Raid, who's hunting him down in the background in the Cupra. So that's Josh Nesbitt taken that position off Will Johnson, race 1 winner. Josh Nesbitt, as I say, championship. Oh, Raquelme got on the grass on the brakes, sideways through that corner. That's a few seconds. He just needs to behave himself. That's all he's got. It's over a 7.5 second gap. He just needs to keep it on the circuit. There's no need to be pushing track limits. He'd lost a second by that mistake. And with 3 laps to go, he really wants to finish this race off with a win. He can't be doing too many more of them. He's just going to bring it home. That's all it is, just bring it home. Easier said than done, I know. I've been in that position when you're not got a car anywhere in sight. It is hard to try and keep your head, keep your momentum. It's a rhythm you need to be in with this Brands Hatch GP circuit. A very, very much driver's circuit. Just here in Madhouse has had to retire with technical issues, which is such a shame. Oh, Will Johnson again around that corner. It's all sideways. Matt Raid is going to take that position. Matt Raid up into 5th. It's the highest we've seen him this evening, which is really, really good to see. He's fighting his way back through after that race 1 issues he had in the opening few laps of race number 1. Ollie Hutton is off the circuit. Where is he off the circuit? Penultimate corner. Mikey Porter's going to come through. He's trying to dig himself out of the gravel. Here comes Porter. 10th position for Ollie Hutton now. Falling back. So he come penultimate lap of the season. 6.6 seconds is the gap. First, second. In fact, that's just gone down to 5. 4. What's happened to the race leader? Why is it now 4.4, 4.3, 4.2? That gap has closed rapidly by about 2.5 seconds. Is he just slowing down? I think he's just taking it careful these last few laps. I'm hoping he is. If this is a problem, then obviously it's not what we want to see. Will Johnson's got back past Matt Reid. Matt Reid is going to go for the position again, is he? No. Thinks twice of it. Will Johnson, can he make it 3 for 3? Is he going to go sideways around this corner as we watch? He does clip the grass again, and he is sideways. You would have thought he'd learned by now. Will Johnson, come on. It's third lap in a row. He's off in that gravel trap. I know he's pushing, and I know he's a very quick driver. He's got the fastest lap of this race, but whether he's just taken the most out of those tyres, but that's a shame. 3 laps in a row off at the same corner, and that's a very difficult corner, that one. So Ollie Hutton's got back past Mikey Porter, a position he lost at this corner when he fell off the circuit last time around. So we've just started the final lap of the season. It's been a very quiet race, other than a few people forgetting where the edge of the circuit is and exploring the sandpits. At least that's a little bit of entertainment for themselves, but it'd be nice to see a bit of a race. But Riquelme, runner-up in this championship, by my maths, the 4-second gap, finishing up this championship with a race win. He just needs to do 2 more corners, 1 more corner, keeping it on the circuit. Ben Nesbitt's got past Bristow for his championship. It's just not enough. He needs to get past Girton in order to get that 3rd place in the championship. So for the final time of this BTCC online series, Sebastian Riquelme comes across the line, takes the checkered flag, and the race win 4.1 seconds ahead of Thibaut Girton, who's going to finish 3rd in the championship. That's a fight for 3rd as Budgeon comes across the line ahead of championship winner Josh Nesbitt. Congratulations, Josh. And Matt Reid fighting off keeps 5th position, followed by Ben Nesbitt, finishing 4th in this championship, followed by Bristow. Will Johnson, after those issues, comes 8th. Ollie Hutton and Mikey Porter. Mikey Porter just having a little bit of issues around that 3rd from last corner. As we see, Ollie Hutton coming up to the line. Oh, Mikey Porter's going very, very slowly. Which is, he's out of fuel. He's out of fuel. That's such a shame. That's going to be a good battle. He's coasting to the line. Ollie Hutton comes in 9th position. And Mikey Porter coasts across the line to finish in 10th position. The last of the finishers will be Callum Parrish, who's just coming round the final corner now. As we flip back, there he is, flashing his lights as he goes across the line. Callum Parrish, well done. Improvements made all season. Madhouse and Young failed to finish, unfortunately, due to technical issues. As we see, Riquelme coming into the pits. Final race winner of the season. And the podium rounded off by Thibaut Girton and Kevin Budgeon. The championship won by my maths, as we're just waiting for provisional confirmation. Yep, a contradiction there in words, but Josh Nesbitt, as I make it, is your championship winner. We'll get the championship standings for you as soon as we can. Just have a quick look. In fact, Will Johnson received a 10-second time penalty for track limits. So in fact, he's not going to finish where I said he did. Who else? No, as they're all starting to leave now and I can't see, but just wait for those final standings. Standings. Final race of the season. Don't forget, we have got another championship coming up in 2 weeks' time. It'll be a fun race next week, I believe. and then we'll be going on to the Formula cars, which you don't often see being ran on Assetto Corsa, but the 2013 Formula Bath eSeries is the next series we're going to have. We're going a 6-round series. Obviously, full rules and regulations as we've been running this evening. Protest system and safety car and race director. Hats off to the Corneliuses for being our race director and safety car drivers this season. So the final championship standings are as follows. Your championship winner is Josh Nesbitt, 278 points. Your runner-up, Sebastian Ricalmi, with 250 points. The Vauxhall Astra of Thibaut Gerten finishes in 3rd position with 209 points. Ben Nesbitt, the Ford Focus and mod developer, is 4th with 200 points. Ollie Hutton, series organizer again, 168 points, with Will Johnson, 138 points. With Rick Bristow, in fact, 137 points. That was very close towards the end there. Sewalt, who wasn't with us, follows him. Young, who didn't finish that race. Ben Maskell, who didn't attend this evening either. Madhouse, who had technical issues in that final race, finishes in 11th with 92 points, on exactly the same points as Bycorn, who couldn't be here this evening either. Matt Raid, with that good finish in that final race, finishes in 13th in the standings. Noah Bates, 14th. Callum Williams, 15th. Callum Parrish in 16th, with Lewis Gilbert, 17th. Budgeon, 18th. Porter, 19th. Ludding, 20th. And you can see the final few drivers, many of whom were one-off for this championship. And just a reminder, all results are provisional. Make sure to tune into the Discord server to see the finalised standings once the stewards have reviewed all of tonight's incidents. So as I said a little bit earlier, coming up in 2 weeks' time is the 2013 Formula Bath eSeries. Slipstream of Dreams. Obviously all broadcast live on this YouTube channel. All 6 rounds. All European races there. Imola and, well, in fact, the right-hand side of this, the circuits on the right-hand side of the screen are probably my favourite ones. Imola, Misano and Monza, especially in this car. It'll be fantastic to race it. Full rules and regulations system as provided tonight. Protest system, safety car and race director. 6 events, 48-hour qualifying, 3 races. All on Saturday nights, 15th of November to 20th of December. I believe there are still a few positions available to join the grid, so make sure you can sign up via the links below. And then that's it for this series. So thank you to everyone that has been a part of it, whether you're a driver, whether you've watched along at home, or whether you are a series organizer like Mr. Peter Cornelius, who's been our broadcast director this evening and safety car driver at the start of the championship, as well as one of the stewards. Thank you very much for having us. Ollie Hutton as well needs to be mentioned, as well as a few of the others that have put a lot of hard work into this championship. But from all of us here at the Authentic Racing eSeries, thank you all very much for watching. Good night.